Joining me, Jock O'Connor, international trade economist with Beacon Economics Advisors. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on this Friday night. We've got a big topic, literally, because it's the Panama Canal plus the expansion. Let's talk about how 90% of the world's trade is done by shipping. This canal expansion, 5% of the world's trade goes through that. How big is this expansion to global trade?
Well, let's go back to the 90% figure. That's been a number that's been kicked around for quite a while, and to the point that I don't think anyone remembers where it came from initially. It's certainly an overestimation. Take the United States, for example. We're a major trading country. The fact is that about 25% of our trade goes overland by rail and truck and pipeline to Canada and Mexico. Another 25% by value goes by air. So.
Okay, fair enough.
In no way do I want to diminish the importance of maritime trade or the importance of the Panama Canal, but.
Okay, fair enough. I get the trains and rails. I guess maybe the next natural question would be this expansion of the canal. Once it's finished, how will that potentially, I guess, impact sort of the more other routes we're talking about, the trucking and also the rail?
Well, the expansion is not going to be the game changer that a lot of people have been hoping for. One of the problems was that the forecast upon which the economic justification for the canal was made several years ago, at a time when a lot of countries were showing robust rates of growth, particularly the United States. Much of the trade that goes through the Panama Canal is either coming from or going to the United States. What we're beginning to recognize now is that the period prior to 2006, 2007 was an exceptional period in economic history, and that we're unlikely to see that again. One of the problems is that we focus on the canal and its role as a fixture of infrastructure, but infrastructure facilitates, it channels trade, but it doesn't drive it. And what drives trade are economic considerations. And one of the ones we need to worry about, and certainly the Panamanians need to worry about, as well as ports throughout the United States, is that the United States, as other industrialized countries are seeing, is a hollowing out of the middle class, which has traditionally been the major factor in driving demand for imported goods. So as we see that trend continue to play out over the next several years, I don't think that we're going to see a vast surge of trade flowing through the Panama Canal.
A few years ago, when the economy was in a little bit worse shape, there was a lot of talk that we had an overcapacity. We had too many ships out there doing dry bulk. We had too many empty container ships floating around on there. Where are we today with the health of the global shipping business?
Well, they still suffer from the overcapacity, and in a sense, they're exacerbating the problem by commissioning the construction of larger and larger vessels. The current super container vessels are the Maersk Triple E class, which can carry upwards of 18,000 20-foot steel containers. On the drawing boards now, and in some ways under construction, are container ships that will be able to accommodate upwards of 22,000, 24,000 containers. These are massive vessels that if economic expansion in countries around the world does not kick in soon, you're going to have a lot of very big vessels out there begging for traffic. But the same phenomenon obtains with respect to a lot of the seaports along the Gulf and East Coast of the United States, which have invested heavily and continue to invest heavily in developing the infrastructure, the super cranes, shoring up their wharfage, dredging their channels, in the expectation that they're going to see large container ships coming in. And my guess is that a lot of those ports are going to be disappointed because that volume of trade simply isn't going to show up.
Jock, very quickly, the impact on China, some are saying that growth there is slowing a bit. How's that going to impact sort of that industry?
Well, the history of trans-Pacific trade, the history of the ports along the west coast of the United States, the history of the Panama Canal over the past 20 or 30 years has really been the history of the rise of China as a manufacturing center. To the extent that we see reshoring of manufacturing capability back to North America, to the extent that we see the transferal of manufacturing capacity out of China, say into the Indian Ocean or to Africa, we'll see a change in the dynamics of that trade.
All right. Jock Canal, thank you very much. Again, thank you. Have a great weekend. International trade economist, Beacon Economics
Thanks, Phil.
Advisors.